Hey guys, welcome back to another clip of Schach-manuel-lernen. Today with the first round of the new winter season, and let's see how I started in this season. I had white pieces. I played on board 1, again as a captain this season. So yeah, let's jump right into the game. He played d6, which is normally peerage defense. Bishop d3 for protecting the pawn. e5, capturing for white is not so good because, yeah, then I have nothing and this piece is better than this at the moment developed. That's why I decided to play c3. Bishop e7, then we both normally develop. h3 is a preventive move that he's never allowed to play this one or to play bishop g4, rook e8. Computer says c4 with the idea of capture to have here this center, a bit like in the Maroczki variation in Sicilian, so it's slightly different. I went for a different approach with playing a4 in order to gain a bit space, and the other idea was knight a3, knight c4 to attacking the center, but I thought it's easier when I play first a4 and I can still play it afterwards. So a4, a5, and now I played knight a3. Bishop f8, idea of g6, bishop g7, and at the moment the threat is capture, and then this pawn is twice attacked and just once defended, so I have to do something against it. Rook e1, c6, and here computer says, yeah, play bishop g5, queen c7, knight d2, and something with f4. Kind of that is the idea. I played queen b3 with the idea of going to this diagonal for this weak point, with potential ideas of playing knight here for attacking and afterwards bishop c4 for attacking. Queen b6, I don't want the queen trade because his development is a bit less good than mine, and that's the reason why I didn't wanted to do it. Of course, I calculated queen b3, queen b6 that I will just retreat. He does the same, and now I played knight c4, putting a bit pressure on this pawn. He plays g6. Now I play bishop e3. Idea was if you play, for instance, bishop g7, I can capture, and then, for instance, queen b3, and now I have this square under control. The knight can't go on c5 and stuff like that. He decided to play d5, and d5 I didn't have that much on my radar. I should have had it, but we see it's really complicated for all kinds of capturing stuff. So here I took some time, and then I played still after not too long thinking, after some minutes, this move, because every other move just doesn't make sense. Like capturing here, he can play e4 and I lose material. If I capture here, he can capture, and then at the end he has 3 minor pieces and I have 2. So I also lose material. And capturing with this knight, he also can capture here, and yeah, that's why I played it still quite fast, this move. he captured here, and here I calculated a bit further than my opponent, and that was the reason why I came good out of this combination. What is the idea? I calculated bishop c4, but then he would just capture, playing knight d5, and I can't capture here because of f6, due to this pin. Queen b3, instead of attacking f7, he just captures, capturing back, capture here, and neither really good. But I saw that I can capture here, capture. And now, if he plays bishop g7 or bishop d6, he anyway just loses a pawn. So what he didn't see at the end is this, like f6 he played, which is normal for attacking the pinned piece. But what I saw beforehand is that I have this maneuver here, that I can capture the knight, and in case he captures my queen, I can capture the pawn with check and then capture the rook back. So I captured there, captured, king g7, and then I captured there. And now we have a really interesting distribution of the pieces. He has the powerful queen and also the bishop pair, and for that I got 2 pawns, a rook, and 3 minor pieces. So the material imbalance is a queen against knight, rook, and 2 pawns, which is 1 point ahead for me. So that gives me already an advantage. But what is even more important in this position is that he is not fully developed and his king is weaker than mine. And due to these facts, my pieces are better than his, and that's why we will see in the next moves how we can take advantage of that. He played h6 in order to blocking this square for all my pieces. Knight d5, I want to attack a bit the king, and with the idea to play bishop f4. b6, if he would play this move, I would have played knight c5, for instance. And yeah, the tactical idea, he can't capture here and here, because then I have this move and just wins the game on the spot. So he didn't want that, so he played b6, but now I can play bishop f4. And you see how I improve my pieces, and yeah, it's just too much for black, because now I have this threat, like this X-ray attack. So I played g5, bishop goes back. Now there are other threats, I can just go anywhere with knight and the queen is attacked. So he developed his useless bishop, but this one I just exchanged. I'm points ahead, and these two are still doing nothing. Knight c4 attacks this pawn and the queen at the same time. So he has to deal with both problems. Queen d8. Rook e5. The idea, bring next rook to the open file, coming to 7 for 8 rank, and then it's basically over. Then he played bishop a6. He needs to try something. And yeah, here I have two options. Bishop e3. knight e3 and knight d6. Knight d6, I wanted to play that in the game. The idea is if queen captures, I can use another x-ray with check and winning the queen. So capture here. And then I have 3 pawns. Bishop are opposite colored, which is normally not that easy, but 3 extra pawns should really be enough, especially with the rooks. I decided for knight e3 because of the idea of knight f5, and my opponent had quite less time, so it was more complicated for him to play than for me anyway. So I also used this aspect of the game. He wanted to avoid that. Bishop c8, of course, is just nonsense going back. And then I played rook d1. Now the bishop is much better than before, but now I can open the position with d5. If he plays c5, for instance, I can just, walk through and make a queen and wins material. So we had to capture. I captured with the rook. So now all of my pieces are active and in the game. Queen f8. Every other queen move is not really good. Here and here it just loses material because of this x-ray. We saw it several times now. So queen f8. Now I can come to 7th rank. He can't block with bishop f7 because then I would play this and I can exchange my 2 rooks for queen and bishop, and then I would have won 2 extra points and material imbalance would have been bigger and bigger for me. If he runs forward with the king, there's quite a nice mate combination. You can pause it for yourself to check if you see it or not. It's knight g4. Kind of a wonderful checkmate because the king is stuck there and he has no squares. So what is left is he goes back. Rook e6, bishop f5, he has no other option. Capture, capture, and now I have both rooks on the 7th rank and it's always really dangerous. I just have to be careful that he can't exchange his queen against the 2 rooks, because then I would be suddenly worse. So rook f8, and now kind of the final blow, bishop e5. The idea is, like, if black doesn't play anything, like let's say h5, I can give a check, goes here, and then I can capture here and it just wins material and the game. So I just had to calculate queen f2. I just went up and then he played rook c8 because he has to play something. And here now it's easy one. Like, I can give a check. If he goes there, I can give a check. Here a check. This one is protected now, so I can give here this checkmate. In the game he went to f8, but here I can give a check on d6. He has to go there. I mean, here he resigned because he saw what's coming, and the combination that he saw in this position, and I as well, was king e8, rook gives a check. If he goes back, for instance, rook a7, he has to go there, rook g8, queen and checkmate. And in case he would have gone here, I can give here a check and a checkmate. And he believed me that I saw that, so he resigned here. So it was a great start in the new winter season with another win with the white pieces. And yeah, looking forward for this season and many more exciting games. I hope you will have exciting games as well. Hope you learned a bit something. And yeah, enjoy the weekend and see you soon.